I crept through the moonlit shadows, the weight of anticipation heavy upon my shoulders. We, a trio of teenage thieves, had embarked on a reckless adventure, convinced that the old man dwelling within the decaying house would remain oblivious to our intrusion. Little did we know the grave mistake we were about to make. The dilapidated Victorian house stood like a relic of forgotten time, its weathered exterior whispering secrets of the past. My companions, Jake and Kevin, shared my confidence, their eyes glinting with the thrill of the forbidden. We slipped through a cracked window, our hearts racing with a dangerous mix of adrenaline and bravado. Once inside, we were greeted by the suffocating stillness of the forgotten abode. Shadows danced in eerie synchrony as the dim light played tricks on our senses. The old man's presence seemed non-existent, further fueling our audacity. Oh, how wrong we were. As we ventured deeper into the labyrinthine corridors, the scent of decay mingled with the stale air. The house whispered tales of forgotten souls and buried regrets, but we paid no heed. We were thieves on a mission, blind to the ominous undercurrents that permeated the very walls we trespassed upon. Suddenly, a creaking floorboard shattered our illusion of invincibility. The old man emerged, a specter of vengeance and hardened experience. His gaze, fierce and unwavering, locked onto Jake, the first to feel the wrath of his merciless pursuit. With a swift and deadly strike, the old man unleashed the skills honed through years of military training. Jake's cries for help were silenced, a startled gasp escaping his lips before the darkness consumed him. My heart pounded, the reality of our perilous situation crashing down upon me like a tidal wave. Kevin and I exchanged terrified glances, our eyes mirrors of shared terror. The old man, far from feeble, was a formidable adversary. He hunted us down with a relentless fervor, every move calculated and precise. Kevin fell victim to the old man's wrath next, as valiant efforts no match for the seasoned veteran. The sound of his final breath haunted the house, a symphony of life extinguished. Panic gripped my soul as I realized my fate would soon follow. I fled through the winding corridors, desperation lending wings to my feet. Each turn, each fleeting moment, carried the weight of life or death. But the old man pursued me relentlessly, an unstoppable force determined to see justice served. Cornered in a room that reeked of forgotten memories, I braced myself for the inevitable confrontation. The old man, brandishing his worn army knife, approached with an air of grim determination. I trembled, my breaths shallow and erratic, as I stared into the abyss of my own mortality. With a surgeon's precision, he struck. The blade tore through my defenses, carving a path of searing pain and crimson trails. I felt life slipping away, a river of regret mingling with the last gasp of breath that escaped my lips. In those final moments, as darkness encroached upon my vision, I glimpsed the old man's face, a tapestry of sorrow and purpose etched upon his rugged features. His eyes, haunted and burdened, bore into my soul, a reflection of the sins we had committed. You may not believe what I'm about to recount, but I assure you, every word is true. Gather around and listen closely as I unveil a tale of darkness and deceit that unfolded within the forgotten halls of the hillside retirement home. It began on a stormy night when lightning cracked across the sky, casting an eerie glow on the aging facade of the retirement home. I, a curious documentarian, ventured into its depths, seeking to capture the stories of the elderly residents before they faded into oblivion. As I walked through the dimly lit corridors, a sense of foreboding enveloped me. The air was heavy with a mixture of decay and unspoken secrets. I could feel eyes upon me, lurking in the shadows, watching my every move. The first resident I encountered was Mrs. Thompson, a frail woman with wisps of gray hair and hollowed eyes. Her voice trembled as she shared tales of love and loss, her words carrying the weight of a lifetime. Little did I know, her stories were mere whispers compared to the horrors that lay ahead. In my quest to uncover the hidden narratives, I stumbled upon a door that led to a forgotten sanctuary of forgotten memories. It was there that I discovered a collection of faded photographs, their faces frozen in time. Each image revealed a disturbing truth. Despite the passing years, the residents remained eternally youthful. Bewildered, I scoured the aging pages of an old ledger, its ink fading, but its secrets lay bare. The caretakers, shrouded in darkness, were orchestrating a diabolical ritual, a theft of life itself. They had found a way to siphon the vitality from the unsuspecting residents, preserving their own youth at the expense of those in their care. The horror gnawed at my very core, but I knew I had to act. With determination, I gathered evidence, capturing every chilling detail that would expose the malevolence festering within the retirement home's walls. Each night, as I crept through the corridors, fear mingled with determination, for I knew that justice had to be served. But the forces at play were cunning and elusive. When the time came to present my case to the authorities, the evidence had vanished without a trace. The photographs, the ledger, all remnants of the damning truth had disappeared, as if swallowed by the very walls that concealed the horror. In my desperation, I stood before the police, my voice trembling as I pleaded for their attention. But they dismissed my claims as the ramblings of an overactive imagination, refusing to acknowledge the darkness that thrived within the hillside retirement home. It was a bitter pill to swallow, the knowledge that I was alone in my fight against the unseen. And so, I share my story with you now, not seeking validation, but rather as a solemn warning. Beware of the facades that mask a deeper truth, for evil can fester in the most unsuspecting corners of existence. The residents may have returned to the ebb and flow of life's natural cycle, but the dark secrets that tainted their days remain buried, hidden from the eyes of the unsuspecting world. As for me, I carry the weight of those haunted halls, forever scarred by the horrors I witnessed. The memory of that fateful night haunts my dreams, a constant reminder that evil can lurk even within the seemingly innocent corners of existence. Let my words serve as a cautionary tale, urging you to question what lies beneath the surface. For sometimes the most terrifying truths are the ones we least expect. You may doubt the veracity of my account, but I implore you to listen with an open mind. The world is not always what it seems, and the darkness that prowls in the forgotten corners can only be combated through awareness and vigilance. Remember, my friends, be cautious of the facades that mask a deeper truth, for within the shadows, unimaginable horrors await. Deep in the heart of a small, secluded village, there once lived an old woman named Agatha. She was a beloved member of the community, known for her eccentricity and tales that could send shivers down anyone's spine. Agatha's stories were not of the supernatural or otherworldly, but rather dark and haunting narratives rooted in the depths of human nature. As a child, I would sit captivated by the flickering candlelight as my grandmother weaved her tales of horror. Her eyes sparkled with mischief as she recounted chilling tales passed down through generations. Little did I know, those stories would become etched into my memory, forever casting a shadow over my own existence. The story I'm about to share is one that haunts me to this day, a tale of darkness that unfolded within the confines of our family. It begins with my grandmother's final years, a time when age had taken its toll and her once vibrant spirit had dimmed. It was a cold winter's night when the first signs of her descent into madness manifested. The air hung heavy with anticipation as my family gathered around her, fearing what lay ahead. She spoke in hushed whispers, her voice laden with a mix of fear and desperation. "Listen closely," she implored, "for the secrets I am about to reveal will forever change the way you perceive our family." As the flames danced in the fireplace, my grandmother unveiled the twisted tale of a long-forgotten ancestor. Generations ago, there had been whispers of a curse that plagued our bloodline, and unspeakable darkness that lurked within our veins. The curse was said to manifest in the form of a malevolent entity, a vengeful force that sought retribution for the sins of our ancestors. It would prey upon the weakest among us, driving them to madness and unleashing a wave of unspeakable acts. My grandmother's voice trembled as she recounted the fateful night when the curse claimed its first victim, her own mother. The old woman's eyes, clouded with torment, became mirrors of a tortured soul as she relived the horrors that befell her family. In a chilling revelation, she confessed that the curse had taken hold of her too. The shadows grew darker, and the room filled with impressive silence as she shared her own descent into madness. The whispers of the cursed entity echoed in her mind, driving her to commit acts of unspeakable horror. I listened in disbelief, unable to reconcile the gentle grandmother I had known with the monster she described. The room was suffocating, the weight of her confession pressing down upon us. We were trapped in her tale, bound by the ties of blood and the horrors that plagued our family. As the years passed, the curse continued to tighten its grip. The darkness whispered in my dreams, urging me to confront the horrors that lay dormant within. I became obsessed with unraveling the truth, determined to break the cycle and free our family from this curse that had plagued us for generations. But as fate would have it, my grandmother's story came to an abrupt end. She passed away peacefully, her haunted existence finally released from its earthly bonds. Yet, the shadows of her tale continued to cast their long reach over my life, taunting me with the unanswered questions and the lingering presence of the curse. Today, I share this story as a cautionary tale for those who dare to delve into the dark recesses of family history. Beware of the secrets that lie dormant, waiting to resurface and wreak havoc upon unsuspecting souls. For within the ordinary facade of our lives, horrors can lurk, born from the sins of our ancestors. As I recount my grandmother's tale, I find myself questioning my own sanity. The shadows dance at the corners of my vision, and the whispers of the curse continue to haunt my dreams. But I am determined to uncover the truth, to break the chains that bind our family to this malevolent force. Leave a like and subscribe if you like the stories. And now click on this video to hear a vampire love story.